This is Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque. 17 years on air and online, helping you succeed in buying, selling, and investing in property. The best real estate strategies out there, just for you.
Welcome to Real Estate This Week. Hi again, I'm Stephen Gasque, and I'm delighted you're with us as we look at curb appeal, helping your yard look so good, buyers will line up. So good, you might not want to move. And we're not just talking about mowing the lawn and trimming the edges. Instead, we're talking color. Color everywhere. So, let's talk about curb appeal now with an expert. Joining us is Mike McGrath, host of the national show You Bet Your Garden, produced by WDIY. Mike is a lifelong garden professional, public radio host, and the former editor-in-chief of Organic Gardening magazine. Mike, welcome to Real Estate This Week.
Steve? Is this Steve?
This is Steve. Yep, you got him.
You still have my phone number? Where you been? You never call. You never visit.
Mike, there is only one you. And it's true, it's been a while, but here we are right now. And I'm delighted to be talking to one of the greatest gardening experts ever. And I hope you've been doing well.
Okay. I forgive you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And so, Mike, here we are in the spring market of 2026. And you know, I have always asked your advice when it comes to one of the most important things in real estate, which is curb appeal. And so, Mike, if I want to make my house just shine this spring, what would your first bit of advice be for me?
I'm warning people, this is the time of year not to be cheap. This is the hardest time of the year to make your house stand out. But if you do a great job and your neighbors don't think of it, your house is going to shine like a beacon in the neighborhood. Everybody else is going to look bad. And that's the name of the game, right?
Right. That's very true. And so, Mike, where I am up in the mountains, I know that my first job, even though it's spring now, my first job is to just clear all the debris out of my yard. The twigs, the branches, the limbs, all the things that came down in the winter. So that's my first step.
I think that's an excellent first step. But make sure you do it for your whole property. Don't miss a step. Hire a couple of kids to work for you for a couple of days if that's available to you. But yes, cleaning up is very important.
And Mike, something that's really funny is that nature is reminding me to clean up, because even though there's debris everywhere in my yard, the daylilies are starting to come up. So that's telling me, get to it, Steve.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. First on my list is pansies. Pansies are always my first suggestion in the spring. Pansies are super cold hardy. You could have planted them in the fall in most parts of the country, and the plants would still be alive. Summer is their enemy. They're going to die when it gets hot, no matter what you do. So they are temporary. I would go out and buy at least 4 flats. And you want bright ones. There are some where the color is subdued. We don't need subdued color at this time of year. Pansies with a lot of yellow in them would be good if you have daffodils or forsythia blooming and coming up.
And will they last all the way to the end of the spring? And then, as you say, they'll die out in the summer. But would the spring market be a good time to plant those because they'll look great all spring?
Yes. Yes. And they're happy flowers. The flower heads look like happy faces. And nobody can look at them and not smile. So don't go to a big box store. This is one where you want to work with a local nursery, preferably, or garden center. But you want to buy in bulk. And if you buy 4 flats or more, you're going to ask for a discount and you're going to get it.
Okay.
Depending on what your walkway looks like, there is no downside to just kind of laying the flats on their side, kind of facing up at like a 70-degree angle. The implication, of course, being you're getting ready to put them in the ground. If you have the time, the energy, and the open ground where your lawn meets your hardscaping, definitely plant them. But that's going to take some time. When I used to be a regular on the Today Show, I just took the flats in and it made for a great visually. You know, they're highly concentrated. Buy more than you need. You think you need. It's going to be a little expensive.
And Mike, sticking with flowers for a minute now, should I be planting spring bulbs or should I have done that last fall?
Fall.
And is it a waste of time if I do it now?
Yes, but yeah, you plant spring bulbs in fall. The flower's already formed inside. It grows good roots over the winter, and then it flowers in spring, which is why they call them spring bulbs. So no, there's nothing you can do to make a permanent planting.
Okay.
But as you know, supermarkets, garden centers, everybody's got flowering bulbs in pots in soil, right? You've seen this.
So you can plant those.
They're out there. They're very inexpensive. I would recommend buying yellow tulips because at this time of year, at least in my garden, yellow rules with the daffodils and forsythia. Dig a hole, drop them in the hole, plant and all, and then just cover up the lip of the pot. You've got spring bulbs coming up wherever you want them, but I like to line the walkway.
Nice.
Because as you're coming up to the house, you're seeing them on both sides.
Okay. And Mike, something else that you've discussed in the past is flowering bushes. And I know that if you want to get your house ready for the spring market, you might be tempted to prune some of those bushes now, but I understand that that's a mistake. You really should let them go all the way through flowering.
Right. If you prune them now, they won't flower this year, and they'll look even worse than they do now.
And another question now.
Yeah.
About the big picture of your home. What about the lawn, Mike? Can you do anything now to really make your lawn look great, or is that also something you should have been thinking about last fall?
Well, cool season lawns, which are the predominant type of lawn, bluegrass and fescue, should have everything done to them in the fall because they are cool season grasses. They love fall and spring, but they suffer over winter. So we feed them in the fall to reward them for living through summer. What you can do now if you've got little ratty shoots coming up is just go over the lawn with your lawnmower at its highest setting and just clean it up a little bit. Do not feed it. Do not patch it. Don't do anything else other than give it a very light haircut.
Well, that's really great advice.
Yeah. Come on. I got some stuff prepared for you.
Go for it, buddy. Go.
No weird mulch. Don't mulching with trashed wood that's been spray painted a god awful color never seen in nature is very off-putting to a lot of people. Plus, this trash wood mulch can breed really unfortunately shaped mushrooms overnight, and you can't stop them. They're just a natural occurrence when wood breaks down.
Well, is there an alternative?
Yeah, I don't know how old you are, but there was never a mulching season. People didn't mulch their landscapes. That happened when landfills stopped accepting green waste. So all the trees and limbs, plus construction debris, horribly chemicalized railroad ties, pressure treated wood, it all got sent to the chipper, who chipped it up, spray painted it, put it in bags, and convinced somebody in the neighborhood to install it. And then it was like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. So if you've already got it, you've got a little bit of time, cover the most visible parts with compost.
Oh.
You probably don't have time to deal with buying bulk compost or, cleaning up after a load gets dropped. But you can buy bags of compost. But if you buy a premium compost, and you'll be able to tell the difference right away, and just buy enough to cover if you have one of the miserable mulches, that's going to go a great way. And it's also going to feed your plants instead of steal energy from them.
And so if you don't have any mulch at all, but you want your place to look good, you could do the same thing. You could put down compost instead of mulch, and that would not only look good, it would, as you say, feed your plants.
And protect them from disease. And I'll correct you lightly, compost as mulch is mulch. Mulch just means anything that covers the surface of the soil to hold moisture in and keep the temperature level at the soil line. Compost is the best mulch. Now, I got to tell you two other things.
Okay, go for it.
As you go towards the front of the house, I've always advocated having two small trees in great-looking containers on each side of the door. I'm talking junipers, young Leyland cypress, young arborvitae. They're perfect, but you're going to have to buy really nice containers for them. And you want the containers to be as high as possible so they capture most of the eye. The containers have to have drainage, and especially in the beginning, you'll have to figure out their watering. Really, if the pot feels light when you rock it, it needs watering.
Okay.
If the pot do not rock, leave it alone. It's fully saturated.
Mike, that is a great idea. The two trees on each side of your door. This is wonderful.
The containers I talk about are going to be a little expensive, but if you put these trees in 5-gallon buckets, they ain't going to go inside. They go back to the car already.
And so what else can we do, though, as we approach the spring market of 2026?
Eye level, curb appeal that goes everywhere from 0 to 6 or 7 foot high. Now, obviously, you can't plant big specimen trees or anything like that. But what you can do is go out, again, you can't cheap on this. buy really nice wreaths, things you hang on your door at Christmas time. Well, they come in all seasons, and there are beautiful springtime wreaths. So you're walking up to the door and you see this colorful circle with red berries, maybe a fake bird in there, cheers you up immediately. You can, depending on the style of your house, you may want to do a couple of windows, but you'll never regret it. I mean, you'll love it, even if you just stay there. No cheap one.
Let's take a quick recap here, Mike.
Right.
If you want to get your house looking great this spring, you've got to start at the beginning. Clean up your yard. All the twigs, all the leaves, all the branches, all the limbs. And next, pansies, that huge pop of happy color you talked about. And then putting down compost instead of mulch in all the areas where you need it.
Or even on top of weirdly colored mulch.
Okay. And then next to the front door, 2 beautiful trees in beautiful pots to welcome people. And then on that front door, also welcoming guests, a really gorgeous wreath. Mike, what a great list.
I'm the best. I'm the best there is at what I does.
You really are the best, Mike.
And I'm humble.
And before we leave you, though, anything else, if you were to walk into a house that was for sale and check it out and see something so good that you might want to write down notes on it, what would that be?
No bad smells. I'm not looking for good. Neither are homeowners. They're looking for negatives to decide. So house has to be clean. You know that. Somebody's got to be baking cookies or bread. But if the home is lived in by cigarette smokers, it is worthwhile to have the house cleaned, the wallpaper washed down, and, present it as best you can.
Excellent. Well, Mike, I really want to thank you for being on the show this week and getting us all ready to make our houses as beautiful as possible in the spring market of 2026. We definitely came to the right guy. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Well, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Mike McGrath, host of the national show You Bet Your Garden, produced by WDIY. Mike is a lifelong garden professional, public radio host, and the former editor-in-chief of Organic Gardening magazine. Next time on Real Estate This Week, mortgages in the spring market. We'll ask a national expert how to get the best mortgage out there. Not just any mortgage, but the best mortgage for you. Mortgages in the spring market. That's next on Real Estate This Week. And until then, I'm Stephen Gasque, and thank you for listening.
A brand new episode of Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque drops every Thursday, everywhere. And you're invited to listen, subscribe, and follow us. Just look for Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque. The best real estate strategies out there, just for you.